This is one-on-one session with the ForumIAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
Can we begin with a couple of questions, after which you can ask me any doubts that you may have?
Yes, sir.
So Sarthak, Dr. Sarthak, can you begin by introducing yourself to me?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Myself, Dr. Sharath. I am born and brought up in Jagityal. Later on, I pursued my graduation in animal husbandry and veterinary sciences. Uh, I was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, my parents, and the constitutional values. I'm a vegetarian by my diet. This is regarding myself.
Dr. Sarthak, what is the legal framework for preventing animal cruelty in India?
So to prevent animal cruelty, we have some acts such as Prevention of Cruelty of Animals Act 1960. We also have some guidelines regarding prevention of cruelty, whereas Motor Vehicles Act and also Wildlife Protection Act and also slaughterhouse rules.
Can you tell me what is the legal position? Let's say if there is a dog that is trying to attack me, and I try to use a stick or a stone. I use it and it hits the dog. So in defense, if I'm doing something, does it constitute animal cruelty according to you?
Sir, whenever there is a defense, when animal attacks a human being, it is not considered as cruelty of animals. But the offender is responsible for taking the care of the animals.
So it's not considered as animal cruelty, but the offender is responsible for taking care of the animal. I did not get you. Matlab, if a dog is trying to attack me or I have a feeling that it's going to bite me, then where is my responsibility here? The best that I will try to do is I will try to repel it with a stick or a stone. So where is my liability here, and why should a liability be there on me?
Sorry, the liability comes from the morale of the person, where there is a minimum responsibility to take care of the animal after attacking, sir. In terms of apprehension or fear that the dog or animal will bite you, in that case, violations on animal rights is violation of animal mere apprehension is not justified. Where if an animal attacks a person, then it cannot be considered as cruelty, sir.
Okay, so the legal position is this, that if an animal tries to attack me and if I use a stone to hit it, what if I just use a stone to hit a dog or another stray animal? Does that amount to animal cruelty legally?
Yes, sir. It amounts to animal cruelty, and in terms of prevention of cruelty against animals act.
What is the penal provision for this crime?
So the penal provision is the penalty of 500 rupees and also a jail term of 3 months to 6 months, sir. But there are some amendment rules where they are extending the penal provisions to 50,000 and also a jail term of 5 years, sir. It is yet to be finalized, but these are the provisions, amendment provisions that have been laid on, sir.
All right. Uh, Dr. Sarthak, uh, we have banned a few chemicals and medicines in the past which were indirectly harming some animals. Can you name some of them?
Sir, one is diclofenac, second one is oxytocin, sir. Yes, sir, these are the two chemicals that I can recall right now.
What is the purpose of oxytocin and what was the ill effect of it?
So the purpose of oxytocin is to increase the milk let down in the milk breeds of the cattle, and the side effects being it can be traced into the milk. It has the origin of traces into the milk. Thereby, it can also enter into the human food value chain. And in terms of ill effects to the animal, it creates some physiological disturbances in terms of animal metabolism. So these are the two reasons because of why oxytocin is banned by banning animal practices until and unless it is being strictly prescribed by a professional veterinarian.
All right. So, some states or some people want a ban on slaughter of certain kind of animals for the purpose of meat eating. They believe that it hurts their religious sentiments. Another community uh, consumes the meat of that animal and therefore does not want a ban on slaughter of those animals. What is your opinion on this?
Sir, in this regard, the ban on certain animals, like for example, if you take the cow slaughter, which is mostly legally prohibited in many of the states, except in some 7 states, including Kerala and Northeast region. In this regards, we have to strictly enforce the legal provisions that are prevailing in the country. In this regard, there should be a strict ban on cow slaughter in terms of legality, sir. But in terms of the food rights of that certain communities, it can be diversified to some other meat or protein sources.
What are your hobbies?
Sir, my hobbies is cooking Telangana cuisine. Sir.
Can you name some cuisines that are good from a health perspective as well as good for in terms of taste?
Sir, one is ragi java, sir. Second one is pachi pulusu. In terms of Telangana vegetarian cuisine, and other thing is ragi dosa, ragi idli, which are made up of millets, which are of millet origin, and also the traditional South Indian dishes like idli and dosa, which are nutritious and the tiffin diets.
All right. Dr. Sir, tell me, if you were made an advisor to the Chief Minister of Telangana and if he wanted you to help improve the economy of Telangana, what are the 4 to 5 areas that you would focus on?
Sir, can I take a moment in this? Thank you, sir, for your time. Sir, if with my best capacities and capabilities, I can think of the following reasons. One is Telangana being a highly agrarian economy and also horticultural economy. I do advise in terms of food processing industries and inclusion of infrastructure, cold storage infrastructure. And in terms of livestock, sir, there is a huge production of milk, but most of the milk is in unorganized sector. In this regard, I suggest a policy where this can be addressed by means of milk processing, milk byproducts. And third thing is that most of the Telangana economy is centralized in Hyderabad. In this regard, I do advise in terms of decentralization of economic activities, thereby setting up of some pharma industries, textile parks in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Sir. These are the 3 things that I can suggest. Sir.
All right. What are the major districts in Telangana where we have some mineral resources?
The 3 major districts that I can think of right now is one is Adilabad, second is Asifabad, then after Karimnagar and Siddipet belt, sir, and Sirisila Ramagundam. These are the 4 districts that has very rich mineral resources.
What sort of minerals are found here?
Sir, one is mostly granite and sand, sir. Second thing is coal resources, and third is iron, sir. Availability of iron in these belts.
Dr. Sharath, so we are currently having power outages in the country. What do you think is the reason behind that?
The first reason is we have a high dependency on coal imports from the foreign countries, sir, and we are less focused on indigenous coal resources, which is although very less in terms of quality. Second thing is we have not yet diversified our energy basket in terms of renewables and non-fossil fuel energy. These are the things that is leading to coal crisis at present, sir.
Okay, what is so coal dependency is there? Uh, why we are not able to? We have good coal reserves. Then also why we are not able to meet the demand?
Because of low quality of coal resources in India, sir. This low quality coal resource has high amount of ash content and low energy output, sir. This is the reason that we are not
That,
exploiting
that
our
is,
coal.
no, yeah. If you go right now, there's a dispute going on in about with of Nalco. All right, an aluminium company which uses coal. So it has a coal supplier, a government PSU. So the case went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said that power secretary and coal secretary will sit and decide what to do. So what is the reason that companies such as, for example, Nalco and aluminum smelting companies or other industries, why their supplier is not able to provide, and their supplier is a PSU? All right, so it is not able to provide the coal to them. That is one. Okay, so you said low quality coal, that is one reason, but there is also the production side bottlenecks. What is that? What is the logic or the reason behind it?
Sir, one more reason that I can think of is most of the coal reserves are located in densely forested areas, which are of highest conservation value. This is also one of the reason of.
So already Coal India and PSC have gone there. They have done the digging part. They have done the deforestation part. All things are done.
Sorry, sir, I am not exactly aware of the situation. I will look into it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Some critics are okay. Okay, that's all. Dr. Sharath, so you are living in imagine that there is a gated society, and there are some members on the gated society who want to feed stray dogs, and there are other people who do not oppose the feeding of stray dogs, but they say that the ones who are feeding the stray dogs must take responsibility for the dogs, because these dogs may bite children and even attack other pets. So these dogs inherently should be having somebody who can take the responsibility. Let us say you are a law enforcement, so there is a scuffle and fight between the two groups because a stray dog which was being fed by a certain member attacked a child in the gated community. So this scuffle brings this comes up to you as a law enforcement officer, right? So how will you handle the situation?
Sir, in the best of my capacity, I can arrange a peace meeting between the two communities, thereby peaceful dispute resolution at the first instance. And second instance is that most of the dog bites in urban areas is because of high appetite of the dog. These dogs do not have adequate food, thereby they shout on human beings, and thereby they try to attack them. This is the prime reason for dog attacks in urban areas. If one of the community feeds them, if they can empathetically and compassionately take them near to them, most of the dog attacks will be addressed, sir. And feeding of dogs and taking care will take care most of the psychological effects of the animals. Thereby, at a short-term instance, there will be reduction in these instances. So this issue will be resolved by feeding them and having compassion towards the animals. And with the help of both the communities, we can also arrange one shelter in these areas, whereby we can also provide some sort of health and vaccination related benefits. Further, if there is any case of dog bites that won't harm children, we are tackling the dog bites at the first instance by feeding them and and showing their compassion. But at the second instance, if there is any case of 0.1 percentage, that can be addressed by this. Thank you, sir.
So, Dr. Sharath, let us say there has been the case of a stray dog mauling children in a certain area. As an animal lover, you do not want, so the residents are fearful of stray dogs now. Can you just tell me in 4 or 5 steps what protocol should be followed in case there is an attack by a stray animal or a stray dog?
So first is I will ask the community to lodge a complaint to the nearby municipality. And at the second step, the municipality can reach the locality and they will confirm the situation of stray dog menaces. If they confirm that there is really a menace, they can go for two things here. One is decreasing the population of stray dogs by the means of animal birth control programs. And second thing is evacuating most of the stray dogs or relocating them or handing over them to some NGOs for taking care of these stray dogs, sir. Thereby, we can address this problem at the short run and also at the long run, sir. This is the protocol that I can think of, sir.
No, by protocol, I mean that a set of do's and don'ts for residents in that area. All right, so the residents are afraid that what should I do? They don't know anything except running, right? Or using a stick. So what steps or protocol would you So you need to make them aware that it's not necessary that a stray dog will always attack them, and how to deal when they feel there's a threat perception from a stray dog. So what steps or set of do's and don'ts would you prescribe to them?
The first step is the dogs bite or attack the human beings when they sense a threat of fear from the human beings itself. When a human being has any threatening weapon or a stick or stones with them, so I advise the people living there to be to get some sort of distance from the stray dogs, and also not to use any sticks or any weapon like things while crossing a stray dog. And also, if they are compassionate enough, I advise them to feed the stray dogs, because most of the attacks are because of hunger. And also to show some sort of empathy, and if possible I can advise them to arrange some sort of shelter to them,
Why do
because
you want to
most
join
of the
civil
street
services, Dr. Sharath? Why do you want to join civil services?
are being from a humble background. I have seen most of the social problems at the first hand experience, and I thought that someone someday will come and change all these problems. But in the progress of my education, I question myself that when I am capable enough of understanding the problems of the society, why I should not be matured enough to take the challenge of social change, and why I can't be the change initiator. And that question made me to think, and I I tried towards civil services.
All right, Dr. Sharath, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.